The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Can I begin, first of all, by passing on my condolences to Edwin Perry and his family, a former Maori, an MP for New Zealand First, with a very proud tradition of representing his country, as did his parents. The second thing I want to say is, if you've just heard two speeches, one from Te Party Maori and one from the Green Party, you can see that there is no sincerity in what they're saying, because their speech had to be written for them. They came down there, not in a Maori way, just read out the drivel and thought it would be acceptable. And of course he never stopped. Having had the first 2 minutes, he's never shut up ever since. Had the first 10 minutes, never shut up ever since. And as for the last speech from the Green Party, it can tell you why it is that for 53 years, since 1972 under the guise of the Value Party, they have never, ever been in Cabinet. And they never will be. 53 years, never made it in Cabinet, and you can see why. Now, can I just say very clearly, Section Standing Order 417 was about a haka occurring as the boats were being counted. That's the chronology. As the Green representative said, she's entirely wrong. Go and look at the Hansard, it's all there. The second thing is, countless people have done haka in this Parliament. Countless people have done haka in this Parliament. Now, before your time, sunshine, you're going to be here gone tomorrow. I've seen your type. Come on. No one will remember you very shortly. But here he goes. But he's got a motor mouth. You know, he's the only guy I know who can eat a banana sideways. There he is. But where he goes, he doesn't want to... We all heard him in silence, but no, off he goes. Now, haka have been done countless times in this Parliament, but after first consulting the Speaker so that the House and its timing is not disrupted. That's what happened here. There was no attempt whatsoever. Worse still, they told the media they're going to do it and didn't tell the Speaker, did they? That's the truth, isn't it? Or am I hearing any denial? No, I'm not. That's the way they think they can behave. The Maori Party are a bunch of extremists, and Middle New Zealand and the Maori world has had enough of them. In fact, in the last 24 hours, the one in the cowboy hat who hates colonialism, the one that's shouting down there with the scribbles on his face, the guy that's got half the South Island hanging on his neck.
Point of order, Mr. Peters. This is a point of order. Tāku te whirus.
E ai ki ngā tikanga o tēnei whare, ko te whakaparahako o te tangata, kāre whakaingia. Ko tānei whakaparahako ai i tō mātou tū, mā te iwi Māori ia e whakawā i roto i ngā tau. Tēnā tātou.
Personal reflection.
Thank you, Mr. Ferris. I think the point that's being made here is that Mr. Peters' remark about Mr. YTT is rather disparaging in terms, and so I invite Mr. Peters to refrain from comments like that and to actually withdraw and apologise, please.
Beg your pardon? Apologise for what? Would you itemise what you want me to apologise for?
Well, Mr. Ferris has indicated the reference to the tāmoko that Mr. YTT has, and so I invite Mr. Peters to withdraw.
If I've misdescribed his tāmoko, I apologise. I'd easily do that. But the rest of it, I hope, is understood to be true. This person that hates Western values and wears cowboy hats in this Parliament is, as I say, an extremist. And the Maori world has had enough. In a poll recently, the majority of New Zealanders massively said that either the Select Committee's finding was correct or should be more severe. Not less severe, more severe. And out there in ordinary New Zealand, they understand what we're doing. New Zealand is a democracy, and whether the Party Maori like it or not, and using Maori culture as an excuse for their disgraceful behaviour is an insult to Maoridom. Some of us were working for Maori before you were born. They've got no record of done one thing. Not one of those people can rise up in this house and tell you one thing they've ever done for Maori, apart from bleeding Maori resources and a marae up in Auckland, apart from far from fleecing the Maori people out in South and West Auckland. It's all there. Hundreds of millions of dollars fleeced off the Maori people. But I'm telling you what, the teats just run dry. We're not taking that bit of bear anymore. You've got the law coming for you, and you can shout as much as you like, but your day in court's going to be coming. No ordinary Maori, Maori or non-Maori, should accept the behaviour of the intent of this party of absolute extremists, screaming out that everybody else in the parliament is here only by their behest. Have a look in the mirror. Mr. Ferris, look in the mirror. What is the majority of your DNA? What's the majority of your DNA? Well, if you're disgraced by your European DNA, we over here are not. We are proud of all sides of our background because we are New Zealanders first and foremost. And as for blood quantum, if the cowboy hat wearer is an example of blood quantum, I'm going to a new biology class. I'm heading off to new biology class. He can't help himself, see? Unlike the word on the Maori. On the Maori, they hear you out. This so-called epitome of Maori behaviour can't even keep his mouth shut for 5 minutes. He's been minimally trained on the Maori, just shows you what little they know about the Maori. On the Maori, you hear the other side out. Don't just shut your stupid head off. All right? They don't want democracy, they want anarchy. They don't want one country, they don't want one law, they don't want one people, they want separatism, division and laws based on race, and they stated specifically, day after day, but ordinary hard-working Maori are finding them out. The high mark for these people are come and gone. I go back and think of 1867, since the first Maori arrived in this parliament. They all came here all down those decades, over centuries, to Pila Sharples and Tariana Turia and Flavel. They all came here and understood that Parliament's got a protocol which they respected, until this bunch turns up. Sheer utter contempt for the whole institution. Sheer utter contempt. This is the product of feeble minds and bad sociology classes at university. They are the advocates of Marxism and every other darn thing to deal with what's wrong with this country. And out there, Maori, who got 2 and 3 jobs, have had a guts full of them. You watch the polls as they go forward. Look, there are some Conservative Labor MPs. Some Conservative Labor MPs must be having cold sweats every night. Because where do you go now? You can't go there, and you can't go there, because you go there and there, you won't be over here. Get that part right. You can't go there, and I hope that some sober, conservative, right-thinking Maori people in the Labour Party wake up before it's too late. These people are a nightmare. They have no idea that politics is about, in the end, compromise to get as much as you possibly can, and far more than you can get collectively than you would have got individually. They don't understand the most rudimentary things. Their party has left Middle New Zealand a long time ago, and the Labour Party is going to leave them hanging in the wind too. Today I want to hear from the Maori Party, from the Labour Party, what do they intend to do on this matter? Because the excuse made by the member of the Select Committee panel was the most lame excuse I ever heard. These people wouldn't even turn up to the Select Committee. Demand that they control the whole process of the Privileges Committee. They even demanded that they have their own process, they're going to have their own hearing. It was all bull dust, of course. It was all bull dust. When was their hearing? They never had it. And then they go on TV, and for a long interview, they're almost crying into each other's faces. Can you remember that? Look in the mirror, Ngarawa. What is your DNA? Look, what is your DNA? Mr. Ferris, what is your DNA? Because it ain't by majority Maori, and stop bull dusting your people.
Order. Members, it's getting a little bit too noisy for my liking. So if we could just keep the dulcet tones down a bit,
Since
please.
1867, Maori have been elected to Parliament with just 4 winning a general seat until the introduction of MMP, when we saw the exponential growth of the number of Maori MPs. Right now we have a record number of Maori in Cabinet of any government, and far more than the Maori Party's got over there. all in our cabinet at this point in time. And right now we have, as I say, a party of extremists who act with utter contempt and ignorance of the process that has been accomplished. A lot of us have striven a long time to see a far greater and balanced representation in this parliament, but we never thought we'd see, as a consequence of all that hard work, of all those Maori members going back over a century, that these people would turn up and, unlike the origins and the birth of their own party, have contempt for their own party leadership. This new bunch that just turned up here now, where do they get their licence from? No, it's no stumbling through it. They have no licence, and they'll find very shortly they're going to be out of this place. They are trying to tear all that down for their own ignorant, misguided political gain. Can I just say this, that we had, in the last few years, a very extensive international travel itinerary. Travelled extensively, more than any other foreign minister, but let me say, I still spent more time in Parliament than all those Maori MPs all together. And I want to tell their voters that their MPs are bludgeoning off them. They're not turning up in Parliament. They're not being responsible. And the sooner you know, the sooner you'll be able to hold them to account. I can see what the end is. I can see what the end is for that party, and it's not long.